Hi guys, welcome to another tutorial series on Django and JavaScript, and in this one we are going to learn how to copy to the clipboard. So to be more precise, we are going to copy those hex colors. Let's say that I want to copy this color. I need to click a proper button, and right now we have a confirmation that this hex color has been copied. So I can go to the terminal and I can press Command V, and there is our color. So let's see if this is actually working. I'm going to choose this one. Okay, right now we have a confirmation that this particular color has been copied. Let's press Command V, and there it is. All right, so this is what we are going to build. And yeah, let's get started. Alright guys, so in a second we are going to take a look at what have I done so far. But before we do that, I just want to mention that if you are waiting for the Django Social Network project version 2.0, part number 4, it will be released this week, as well as the Django and JavaScript quiz app part 2. If you have any preferences, what should come out first, please let me know in the comments below. So I'm planning to release either Django Social Network Project Part 4 or the quiz app on Wednesday, and then the other video on Friday. Alright, so if you have any preferences, what should I release first, please let me know in the comments below. And right now we can focus on our project. It will be a short one. So first of all, what I have created is a brand new project called copyproj, and right now I'm in the settings py file of this directory. If we scroll down to the installed apps list, we can see that over here this list has been extended by colors. So this is an application that I started for this project purposes. And then if we scroll down to the templates, here we have a configuration for Django to know where to look for the additional ones. And of course, according to those settings, I created this templates directory. And over here, we have our base HTML. So if we scroll all the way down, over here we have a configuration for the static files, and according to those settings, I created a static directory and I placed main.js. This file is empty for now, but we will do some work very soon over here. Okay, so right now we can jump to URLs py. Over here, I just included the settings for the static files in the URL patterns. Then we have our base HTML, and this is basically a Bootstrap starter template with an additional block for custom.js. So over here we are linking our main.js to this base HTML template, and we have only one block for template inheritance purposes. We have block content, and it's inside the container, so we added some spacing on the left and on the right. So basically this is our base HTML, and I also created models. I created a class color. Here we have just two fields, hex, and this is a models char field with the max length 7, and I also added a created field, which is a date time field with auto_now_add is equal to true. And then we have the string representation method where we are referencing the hex field. Okay, of course this class has been registered in the Django admin, so this is what we did in the admin py file. And then we have the main.js, and as mentioned before, this file is empty for now. Okay, so we can jump to our browser. I'm already at Django administration logged in, and I'm going to go to colorhex.com. And from here, we are going to get the colors to create the objects in our database, okay? So I'm going to pause the video, and I'm going to add 5 colors from here to our database, okay? So we will see each other in a second. Alright guys, so as mentioned before, I added 5 colors, and right now it's the right time to add a view. So we need to go to colors, views, and over here we will begin from the imports. So I want to bring in from .models the color class. Okay, and also I want to import from Django views generic list view. Okay, so let's create a class-based view. Class, let's call it color list view, which inherits from the list view. And let's set the model to be equal color. And let's specify the template name to be equal main HTML. Okay, I'm not going to create another templates directory inside the colors. I'm just going to place this main HTML next to the base HTML to make things a little bit shorter. Okay, so let's do it like this. And right now we actually need to save our views.py file, and we need to register it in the URLs.py. So again, I'm going to do it directly in the copy project in the main URLs.py file. So let's bring in our color list view. From colors dot views, we want to import color list view, and let's set this as the main path. So color list view as view, and let's set the name as main view. All right, so let's save this. And right now what we need to do is to work on our main HTML before we actually jump into main.js. So let's go to getbootstrap.com and let's go to the docs. Let's type in the search input tables, and let's bring in this one. We can actually copy it. So here we have an option to copy to clipboard, and this is exactly what we are going to do in our project. So let's use this button, copy to clipboard, and here before we actually paste it, let's put in that we are inheriting from base HTML, and let's open up our blog content. All right, so right now I can paste this table from getbootstrap.com, and we can do a few modifications. So first of all, we need 3 columns. So I'm going to get rid of this one. And in the first one, we will have the preview of the color. Then we will have the hex color, the hex code. And then we will have copy. So in this copy column, we will keep our buttons, all right? And then we can get rid of those table rows inside the table body. Here again, we will need 3 table datas in a row. And in the table body, we can perform a for loop for obj in object list. Let's cut this and put it in a for loop. All right, so in the first table data, here we will have a preview of the color. So I'm just going to put in style, and I'm going to reference the background color, and I'm going to set this background color as obj hex. All right, so here we will have the preview of our color. Here in the second table data, we will actually need to display the code. So this is going to be a very easy one. We need to put in obj hex. And in the third one, we need to have a button, all right? So let's put in a button with a class equal to btn and then btn outline primary. And I'm also going to add a copy btn so we can actually get the button elements by this class over here. And I'm also going to set a custom data attribute. I'm going to name it data hex, and I'm going to set it, of course, to obj.hex, and we will return to this a little bit later in the JavaScript part, but this is something that we will need for this project purposes. So let's close off the button, and inside let's actually place click. Okay. So yeah, let's see how this looks like right now. I'm going to save this. Let's hit refresh, and there it is. Okay, so we have preview, hex color, and copy. What we can do is actually to center this. So over here in the tr table row, we can add a class equal to text center, and we can copy this class and put it in our for loop in the table row as well. Let's refresh, and this is looking a little bit better. All right, guys, so I think it's time to jump into the main.js. And over here, what we are going to do first is to put in a simple console log hello world to see if everything is linked up correctly. So I'm going to hit refresh, and then I'm going to right-click inspect, and I'm going to go to the console, and we don't see the hello world. I'm going to press Command-Shift-R, and there it is. Okay, so everything is working for now, of course. As the next step, let's grab the buttons. So as mentioned before, in the main HTML, we put this copy btn, and this, once we were adding this copy btn, I mentioned that this is going to be the class that we are going to use to get the buttons. So let's do this right now. I'm going to create a const, which I'm going to name copy btns. And this is going to be document and then get elements by class name. And I'm going to put in this copy btn class. And below I'm going to console log the copy btns. All right, let's save this. Let's refresh. And here we have a HTML collection. We will actually need an array to perform a for each method. So we can transform it very easily, this HTML collection, to an array with the use of spread operator. And right now we can write our copy btns and for each, where we are grabbing a single button and we are listening on a click event. So btn add event listener click, and right now we can console log click. Okay, let's see if this is working. Let's hit refresh. So right now we have an array, and if we press click, we have click. Okay. All right. So as the next step, let's get this data hex attribute. So we can actually store this value in a variable that we are going to create. So over here, I'm going to create a variable color, and this is going to be btn, and then get attribute, and I want to get the data hex attribute. And below I'm going to put in console log color. So let's save this, let's refresh, and right now we have click and the color. Okay, everything is working the way we want it to. All right, so we can actually also change the button text content. So we can have a confirmation that we actually copied a text. Although we didn't copy it right now, we didn't add anything to our clipboard, but we can have some kind of a confirmation. So let's put in btn text content, and let's put in copied, although this isn't entirely true. Let's refresh, and we have copied, copied, copied. And here we can see that we have another problem, because we should only see one button with the copied value. And here we can actually change all the buttons to copied. And right now it's hard to tell which one is the last copied one. Okay, so we need to deal with this problem as well. All right, so I think it's time to add something to the clipboard. So right now, this is going to be true, this btn text content. We will actually, once we click on the button, this copied statement will be actually true. In order to add something to the clipboard, we are going to reference the navigator, and over here we can access clipboard and then write text, and this is how we are adding something to the clipboard. And what do we want to add? We want to add the color. All right, so now I'm going to save this, refresh, click. Okay, and here we have a confirmation that we clicked on this color. So I'm going to press Command V, and there it is. So we actually did copy this particular color. Now I'm going to click this one, and I'm going to delete this, and Command V, and there it is. Okay, so we actually are able to copy to the clipboard, but we still see this problem with the copied, so we can solve it pretty easy. I'm going to create a variable previous, maybe something like this, and I'm going to set it to null. All right, and then below I'm just going to put in if previous, and here we are going to execute some code, and we will get back to this in a second. But below I'm going to set the previous to btn. All right, so right now we will have, actually, once we click on a particular btn, this clicked btn, the btn that we choose will be over here, and it will be as previous button that we clicked. So with the previous button, we can actually change the text content to click again. All right, so let's try it out. Going to refresh, click, and there it is. Okay, so right now I can have only one button with the copied text. Perfect. Okay, so let's maybe add to this copied the actual color. All right, so in order to do this, we need to use the navigator clipboard again, but instead of write text, we need to put in read text. So in order to do this, I'm going to put navigator clipboard read text, and this returns a promise, so we can put in then, and then we will have a clip text. And over here, what we want to do is to maybe console log the clip text, okay. And let's also put in btn text content. I'm going to actually take this and put it inside, but I'm going to change the quotation to backticks, and I'm going to inject the clip text. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this console log color, console log click, and yeah, let's see how this looks like. I'm going to save this, refresh, click. I need to give permissions, and there it is. Okay, everything is working the way it should. Don't look at this color because this is the one that we paste. So if we choose this one, I'm going to press Command V, and there it is. Okay. If we decide to choose this one, Command V, and there it is. All right, so everything is working, and I think we can finish off over here. Wish you all a great day, and see you in the next tutorial. Take care and bye-bye.